Well, hello you gorgeous mother truckers you, and welcome to another video. Bit warm, innit? Yeah, that's right, the United Kingdom's had 3 days of glorious sunshine and we're all going to die, apparently. It's only got to 28 degrees. I think it's quite nice, although I am a bit sweaty. I also need a shave. Apologies. Right then, so, not long now to the 4th of July. Not long now till we discover the fate of the country. Not long now before those idiots in the comments section who think nothing could possibly go wrong if Labour were voted in will be apologising, although I don't think they will be. And the biggest concern that, apart from reform, is the vote of those members of Alan Snackbar. Now, they've actually got a X page, and they just recently tweeted something which they then immediately deleted after realising what they'd said. But I'm going to share it with you. Now, before we do that, we have to have, again, the conversation, because you get the usual things come out, like, oh, you're having a go at the Muslims, and it was a Muslim doctor that saved my life. Right, okay. Yes, well done. Congratulations, so happy for you. But also the fact that in no way has anyone ever said those people who come here with the required skills that we need for this country and the outstanding talents that they have aren't welcome, ever. They've never said that. We've never said that. And even now we're still saying it. If you want to come into the country, you abide by our rules, you abide by our laws, and you have a skill set that we're desperately short of. And that doesn't mean picking stuff in Amazon. That means, surgeons and dentists and doctors, the things that we really do need, that we're desperately short of. Well, we weren't desperately short of until we had over 2.5 to nearly 4 million people come in the last 15 years. So kind of boosted the population up, but we boosted the population up, but didn't boost anything else up, which is why the NHS is crumbling, why you can't get to see your doctor, why you can't get to see your dentist, why you can't get a place at schools, while your house prices are going through the roof, while your rent's going up. That's what it's about. Okay, it's not about sending everybody home, because you can't do that for a start off. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. There are many people who contribute to this country, and they're fine, and that's fine. And you can't send them back, because if you want to do that, and if you want to be totalitarian like that, you're just as bad as the people you allegedly fight against. You can't have it both ways. So, now we've laid that out again, and I'm sure I'll get some more very interesting comments from people, because that's what happens when you lift your head above the parapet wall. People shoot at you, and the difference is, I don't care. You can shoot at me. You can say whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Oh well, your opinions coming. You're coming from a place of bias, and so are you. It's called having an opinion. Opinions are based on your own personal biases. That's what an opinion is. So don't go, you're having a go, you're coming from a particular bias. Well, so are you. It's called having an opinion. I didn't ask you to like mine. I didn't ask you to agree with me. If you do, that's great. If you don't, that's great. I don't care. It's not a problem. Really isn't. Genuinely isn't. And some of the people, I'm living in your heads rent free now. I mean, one guy said, well, I helped keep Sadiq Khan in power. I pushed him, and I did it and to keep people like you out. And if it irritates you and you're annoyed, I'm not annoyed. I'm living in your head rent free. But if that's what you want to do, fine. That's fine. If you're happy with what you got, that's fine. You're an idiot and you're deluded, but that's fine. Any case, now we've cleared all that up, let's get on to this tweet that the Muslim Vote, and that's at the Muslim Vote UK, tweeted and then very, very quickly deleted, and just see why. So, here we go. Now, at UK Labour, the scary thing is for you, we're only going to get stronger from here. When you appease people, when you cut them enough slack, when you embolden them, they push further and further and further. It's like kids. If you give kids an inch, they'll take a mile. Until sooner or later, you have to come down hard on them and they don't like it. You may win in the 2024 battle. I'm not so sure about they're going to win as much as they thought they were, but we'll see. But we are here for a 25-year war. War. That particular word. And it's not going to look pretty for Labour if it continues as it is today. This post has been deleted. Unfortunately, of course, people are too quick on the Windows print screen button. And once you put something up on Twitter, it's there forever. Now, you could have picked any other word, but you used the words 25-year war. Battle, struggle, resistance, democratic process. No, none of those words. We just used the word war. Then they went, oh shit, and deleted it. After it had 4 reposts, 18 quotes, 3 likes, and a bookmark. The bookmark was clearly the person who managed to screenshot this, because people aren't stupid. Now, how is this allowed? How is this not yet another wake-up call? Now, again, to set the record straight, not all Muslims are bad. But your silence on things means that people think you are. If you don't say anything, you're agreeing with it. Because we've gone past that stage now. You've got to speak out, and if you don't speak out, you're part of the problem. I know a lot of people like to ostrich it. I know a lot of people like to ignorance is bliss and just hope that everything goes fine. But hoping isn't going to get us anywhere, because we are either heading for a civil war or we're heading for a nuclear war. That's the position that we're in. We're in that position where this country is going to, like the rest of the Western society, is going to collapse into a pile of rubble one way or another, unless you start saying something and doing something. You know, with things like this, in 25 years' time, so in a couple of decades, Christianity, the Western world will be gone, the plan will be complete, and everybody will be happy. Well, the elites will. I'll probably be dead. Mrs. G will probably have to wear, whatever. This is what we're up against. And we're up against it, and people like myself are now going to be called racist. I'm not racist. If somebody says, we're here for a 25-year war and you're going to lose the battle, that's a threat, and I will rise to the threat. It's not racism. Yeah? Kind of like when the Irish did it back when they were, when they were bombing the crap out of us. Yeah, we're at war with you, so we didn't like them either. All the Irish, sadly, got tied with the same brush. And I know this because one of my uncles was an Irishman. And when there was the pub bombings up in Birmingham, just up the road, he was actually working at Rover. And they actually hung him up and tried to cook him in the paint ovens. Because he was Irish. I mean, he got nothing to do with that at all. But see how things... People will tar everybody with the same brush. Anyone who goes on a march, waving a Union Jack or across the St. George, is a far right or extreme right winger. I mean, it couldn't be any further from the truth for 99.9% of the audience, the people there. And remember, there is the 0.1 because there always is going to be. And this is something else that people don't understand. There's always going to be those people. Always. There's always going to be the extreme, the genuine extreme Nazi lovers. Like there's always going to be the extreme purple-haired idiots. There's always going to be racists. There's always going to be sexists. There's always going to be murderers. There's always going to be rapists. There's always going to be criminals. Because that's just the way it is. And instead of dealing with that issue, we just tar everybody with the same brush. And it's wrong. But we've now gone past the position of silence. You have to stand up and you have to say something. And if you don't, you're part of the problem. If you're just going to sit back and let other people take the flak for you, if you're going to let everybody else like me and Paul and Simon and Paz and everybody else who does all these rotten politics and many, many others really, really talented, a lot more talented than I am. if you're going to let all them say all the things and take all the flack for you, but not say anything yourself, not even a word of encouragement or a word of thanks very much or whatever, then you're part of the problem. Because it'll be, by the time you finally wake up, it might be too late. By the time you finally wake up, people like me and Paul Emigo will probably all be in prison. Or had all our social media systems removed from us so we can't speak out anymore. And then who are you going to turn to? Then who are you going to let take the flak? It's not acceptable, really. And I know people go, oh, it's, you're being doom-mongering. I'm not. This is the position that we are actually in. If you stop and look, this is the situations that we're in. And I'm still stunned that so many people could just sit there and pretend nothing's happening. And it'll be all right at the end. Because that never works. It never works. Neville Chamberlain, piece of paper. It's all right, yeah, we're sorted. Not a problem. Everything's going to be fine. Just pretend it's going to be okay. Doesn't work like that, does it? No. Never has done. Never will do. But that's up to you. Any case, I'm done with that one. So, while I continue to sweat, because it is nice and warm in the UK, it's not raining. Until the next one.
This once great nation, eroded by time, with its crushed population just towing the line. They are nourished with poisons and brought up on lies. They wave foreign banners as the patriots die. I said,